first started off as a documentary. It started off as what was supposed to be a fictional movie about myself and my friends discovering basically what you discover in the documentary, that September 11th was an inside job. This was back in May 2002 when I got the idea, and upon researching for it, it started to become apparent that it might not have been fictional. I might have actually been touching on something that was true. So over the process of about 2 years, wrote a couple drafts of the movie, and then realized, I started integrating the information into the movie, and it became overwhelming to a point where, it was too much at one point, so I decided to branch off, abandon the idea of the feature film, and focus on the documentary, because that was more realistic at the time. So that's what I started doing, and around 2004 is when it started to come to shape, and that's when I moved down to Washington, D.C. April 2005, I released the first edition, and here I am. Overwhelming, man. Total surprise. I mean, I wasn't expecting any of this to happen. I mean, I released it on a whim. I mean, everybody else's documentaries were already out. In Plain Sight had just come out, and everyone was praising that and how good it was. I was like, oh, well, maybe I shouldn't even bother. But, I released it anyway and, caught on. Phil of Let's Roll 911.org, he started advertising it and started, getting the word out. I put up a couple trailers, I was hitting up the forums, my presence was out there, but, people were just kind of like, yeah, well, I'll check it out, and I put up a couple things here and there. So, it was word of mouth, more or less. It wasn't like an automatic success. It is because of the internet where I am today. People get it, daily, it's overwhelming. Over 2 million people have seen it on Google Video now. It's crazy, and I love it. I get people who email me like, "Hey, are you aware that Google Video is hosting your movie? Don't you want to take that down?" I'm like, "Oh, are you out of your mind? That's the best thing that's happened." For period. So many people, 2 million people out there now know the truth about 9/11, and that's just 2 million people. Then they're going to spread it with their friends and theirs. It's just crazy, and that's the best part about this information is it takes on a life of its own, and there's no stopping it, and it's because of the internet that has happened. I would like to see George Bush walk out of office and into a jail cell. Or at least into a courtroom, because I don't think he deserves a jail cell. I don't know what he deserves, but I would like to know for a fact who was responsible, and then I would like to take it from there. It just grows. You read one article, and that links to 10 other things that you didn't know about, so you read up on those, and before you know it, you're up till 4 in the morning. And you're reading articles left and right, and you can't sleep, and you're telling all your friends the next day, and they don't want to believe you, but you're like, "Nah, man, this is for real." It's crazy. And I had those lingering moments where I start to doubt what I'm doing. I'm like, what if I'm wrong? What if I'm absolutely wrong? But and then I get 100 emails from family members who are like, "I just want to tell you, I really support what you're doing, and we lost our friends on 9/11. We've been searching for the real truth since then, and the 9/11 Commission lied to us." And all these people they just got screwed so badly by the government, and the government basically told them to get lost. They paid them off, they gave them their hush money and said, "You can't sue us now." And that was it. And you've heard from 3 family members since. You heard from Ellen Mariani and 2 or 3 more. A total joke. Total joke. Every single member of that commission was compromised. Keene, the head of Amarada Hess. All these people. The one guy co-wrote a book with Condoleezza Rice. There's ties to Enron. The Iran-Contra scandal. You name it. These people, this is not a bipartisan, independent investigation. This is not a group of people that you appoint to investigate the worst tragedy in the history of the United States. These are a couple people that you hire to cover up something. That's what they did in their past. One of the guys worked for Philip Morris, defending them and saying that cigarettes were okay. And he's going to defend 9/11 and say that 9/11, oh, hey, we dropped the ball. And at the end result of the 9/11 Commission, all these people that were supposedly get punished for what they did wrong, the FBI and the CIA, they get a thank you, and that's it. At first, Moussaoui was like, I had nothing to do with 9/11, he was all against it, and now all of a sudden, now that he's wearing a stun belt, all of a sudden because that was true, MSNBC confirmed it. He was wearing a stun belt during his trial, so if he got out of line, they would zap him. Come on. I don't know, and I think it's kind of ridiculous that Rudy Giuliani is being called as a witness. Who did he lose on 9/11? Who personally did he know that he lost? Yeah, granted, I'm sorry, he was the mayor, but he wasn't there. He was there in New York City, but he was there after the fact. It's the biggest group of criminals we've ever seen in this country, and it's just so blatant. And, it boggles my mind that anybody can actually look up to this administration anymore. A couple of different things, basically, but for right now, we're just kind of, pushing this and getting this out there. There's obviously things with the second edition we have to fix, errors, and there's things we'd like to improve, and I mean, right now we're enjoying what we're doing. I mean, we got a couple things going on that we can't talk about, but it's going to be a very good year for the Truth. Question911.com or video.google.com, or just search for it. I mean, it's all over the place. You don't have to pay for it to watch it. You can watch it anywhere, basically.
That's more important to you than making money.
Absolutely.